This is Mike Reed with cEntellect, and welcome to this week's proprietary research and analysis. This week's topic is on natural gas, and the title is Sound the Alarm, We've Got a Winter Problem. This is actually a 12-part storyboard. It's a cause-effect storyboard where one thing causes the next and so forth. I'm going to lead us off through the first 6 parts, and I'm going to have my colleague Will McCauley finish us off with the last 6. Winter is really shaping up to be extremely volatile with extreme price spikes in the event, in my view, we either have a normal or a cold winter. If in the event we have a warm winter, probably no material change in price level or volatility. Let's talk about what's going on with the very first storyboard item, and that is on the demand side. We've got high year-to-date natural gas power generation. It's up across the board year-to-date, plus 15% year-on-year. That coupled with other demand drivers, including Mexico exports, LNG exports, high industrial demand, and so forth. There's another 6 demand drivers that are up on top of just natural gas generation. So huge demand driver. And we take that and we combine it. So it's combined with an and the and is associated natural gas, I believe, peaked about 8 weeks ago and is currently in decline. The reason it peaked is our rigs plateaued about 19 weeks ago. And in a market where you've got plateaued rigs, depletion rates are faster than new production growth rates, and I see it declining. You can see it in the numbers. So demand remains strong. I see associated gas actually peaking and in decline. And those two have combined for the third storyboard, which it's caused the injection season stocks to come in at about 600 BCF less than normal, the lowest since 2005, forecasting about 3,200 BCF versus 3,800 BCF normal. So we haven't seen stocks this low in over 13 years. And so let's take us to the fourth storyboard, which the last time we finished that level was in 2005, and natural gas was trading at $12.66. I'm sure you can remember those days, and it spiked to $15.38. So clearly it was an elevated price environment in the presence of low natural gas stocks. So what can we do? Well, this notion of switching back from natural gas back to coal generation, it's economic. It's economic when natural gas prices are above $3.05 to $3.10 per million. And we're actually doing that now. And when we look at the Jan-February strip, it's at $3.26. The problem is we cannot sustain the switch. The reason we cannot sustain the natural gas back to coal switch is coal stocks are down 24% year on year. They're at extremely low levels, so it's not a sustainable switch. So before we move on, just think about it. We don't have enough natural gas in storage. I would argue supply has peaked and falling. And this notion of switching back to coal is probably preliminary and not sustainable because of extremely low coal stocks. So with that, let me turn it over to Will McCauley to finish the remaining 6 storyboards.
Thank you, Mike. So in addition to the low coal stockpiles that we're seeing at utilities around the country, the other big issue is a lack of coal generation capacity. We've all been hearing about it. Coal units across the United States have been retiring due to economic issues or end-of-life issues. So our total coal generation capacity is down 15% from the past 5 years. So therefore, not only do we not have coal to burn, we don't have plants to actually burn them in. So therefore, coal, switching from natural gas generation to coal to backstop is not feasible in the volumes that we really need it to do. So therefore, in a normal to cold winter scenario, we expect some pretty serious price volatility in natural gas for 2 reasons. One is it will be physically curtailed away from power generation for heating in the Northeast and other parts of the country, and also due to the low storage levels that Mike already spoke about. The second factor that we will see is volatility in power prices. Again, that's driven by fuel volatility, but then also by the inability for generators to switch off gas generation and turn on coal generation. We just don't have enough fuel to go around. So therefore, the last time that the U.S. had a cold winter was 2013, 2014. So the temperature that year averaged around 43.5 degrees. Last year it was about 46.5 degrees, so we're about 3 degrees cooler in a cold winter. Leading up to that winter, natural gas was trading around $3.65, but during that cold snap, we had spikes up to $6, $6.15. So again, we saw a similar magnitude of spike that Mike discussed previously, about $2.50, $2.75. So in a warm winter scenario, we expect everything to be fine. There's plenty of generation, there's plenty of fuel to go around. But I think the serious question heading into this winter with the low storage levels and the inability to switch back to coal generation is how cold do we really think it's going to be? The answer to that question will really tell you what you should see in terms of spot natural gas prices and its impact on the United States, both at the consumer level and at the broader economy. For a full research and analysis piece and this full storyboard, please visit us at cEntellect.com.